Hey everyone, this is Bala Reddy and you're watching Tech Explained by Bala. In this video, you'll learn about how to deploy Django web application. For this purpose, we'll be using this particular project. Now, this is a movie application that I built, which is basically lists the movies here. Right now, this is running on my local server at the port number 8000. And you can also find this repository link in the description below, this GitHub repository. You can actually fork this repository and you can use the same repository for deploying. Otherwise, you can utilize your own project for deploying this on the cloud platform. So we will be utilizing cloud platform called Render. So you can go to the browser and type Render and hit enter. So you can see the first search that you will be looking at is Render Cloud Application Platform. Now using this cloud application platform, we can deploy our Django project. Let me open this. Okay, go ahead and sign in with your account. If you don't have account, create one. I created my account using GitHub. So I am logging again with my GitHub account. Okay, now I logged in. You can see I am in the dashboard section of this application. So you can see there are a lot of services they are offering, like static sites, web services, private services. For us, we will be using web services to deploy our Django application. Before we start deploying our application, we should install few things into our application, like the Django project. I will tell you what are those. First one you should be installing, it's only one thing is that is Unicorn library. So just type pip install. Make sure you are inside your project directory. Pip install Unicorn. I have already installed this. If I run it, it will say that its requirement already satisfied. If you don't have, go ahead and install this library. Now this is basically a library which acts as the middleman between the web browser and your Django project when we deployed our Django project in the server. Okay, make sure that is installed. And another one, you should have a requirements.txt file in your project, because when we are deploying that cloud applications, the service, web service will be looking for a requirements.txt file. To add requirements.txt file to your project, you can simply type pip freeze requirements.txt. Now pip freeze, you have to say greater than requirements.txt. Hit enter. Okay, so as soon as you run this command, you can see the requirements.txt file got generated. So if you open this file, so what it did, it actually got the entire libraries which are there inside my dev environment, and it listed out all those things inside requirements.txt. But anyway, I won't be requiring all these libraries because I have created multiple projects in the same dev environment. So that's why it listed a lot of library which I use it for other projects. For these projects, I only require Django and Unicorn. So I will remove the rest of the libraries which are not required. You will be knowing about like what are the libraries that I have utilized for your project. So you can eliminate the rest of the libraries which are not needed. So these are the libraries which are needed for my project. So save it. So I will just add this to the GitHub. Okay. Okay, why did I pushed my code to the GitHub is that because we're gonna use our GitHub repository to deploy our application. So that's why it's mandatory to have entire our the latest development code into our GitHub repository before we deploy our project. Now go to the dashboard of render site, and now we can go ahead, click on new web service. Yeah, this is how it looks. You have to connect the one of the whatever the service, the platform that you're using to host your project, like no, not to host, but basically version control. For me, I will be using GitHub since my project is there in GitHub. This is my account. So don't give all the repositories. If you don't want to, you can select the repository which you wanted to use for this web deployment. So I will select the repository that I wanted to deploy in this as a web service. Yeah, this is movie platform. Okay, I selected my movie platform application. Now I click on install. Okay, once you did it, yeah, now it will show the repository, the one that you have given permission. So select that repository and click on connect. Okay, now this is what you will be looking at. So you can leave this as default. So the language that we will be using is Python, of course. You can change the region based on the region where you are, the nearest region for you, your site basically. If your user base is in US, you can use the US region, or you can use, if your user base is in Asia, you can use Singapore. So we will be using Singapore. Yeah, see, this is automatically loaded. Pip install requirements.txt. Now this will get automatically run when we are deploying, so that the server will be having the required libraries. Now here the start command we have to mention. So we are using the Unicorn module, and along with that we have to mention our project name, which is, you can see our project name already preloaded here, movie platform. I copied it, Unicorn movie platform dot WSGI colon application. Okay, so what is actually happening here is that now this Unicorn module is accessing our movie platform application, the Django application. Inside that we have a WSGI file. Now what is WSGI? It is a web service gateway interface. So you can locate this inside our Django project. If you go to your Django project and find in your movie platform, you can find this WSGI.py. Now from where we are calling this application interface. So that's what we are doing here. So this will be get executed as a starting command. Okay. So we will be using the free service. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much what you have to do to host this Django web application. Now go ahead and click on deploy web service. Okay, once it's deployed, you can see it will start cloning our project, and like it will be doing all the configuration things. You can see all the logs. If there is an error, it will show it here. Hope there won't be any errors. Okay, our build is successful. Now you can see, as soon as build is successful, you can see this link. So you can click on this link Okay, maybe it is not yet activated. It's showing still deploying. Once this is over, we can access our link and see whether our project is working or not. Okay, there is an error. I will tell you what is that error. So for now our site is live. So when we go to the site and refresh, yeah, you can see this is the error that we will be getting when you don't include the allowed host into our settings.py. So we didn't allow this host to render our application basically. So copy this basically the entire URL. You can find this URL here also, here, but you don't require HTTPS. So you can copy this one alone and go to settings.py in the project, and inside the allowed hosts you should keep this. In the codes you should keep this and save it, and you have to push these changes to your GitHub repository. Added allowed hosts. Okay, now click on yes. Let us sync the changes. Okay, once you have pushed this change to your GitHub repository, make sure this has been pushed to your GitHub repository. Yes, it came here. Now go to the dashboard of this web service where we deployed our Django application, and here now you have to deploy this again. Go to manual deploy and you can click on deploy latest commit. So wait for a minute, it will take 50 seconds or more. So always observe the logs. Whenever there is an error, it will list out the error in the logs, and you can actually find that error and you can fix that error. Yeah, so build is successful. Now let the it's still in progress. It's deploying. Maybe it takes few more seconds. Okay, now our site is live. It is successfully deployed. Now if you click on the link, yes, can you see? Now our site is hosted at this particular URL. You can see it's hosted in this platform and serving at this particular URL. Yeah, so the application is working and our build is successful. We successfully deployed our application in a cloud platform. So this is how we deploy the Django applications in a cloud platform. Now it's a very easy way to do using this render cloud application platform. It's not a very tedious task. I hope you understood this, how we have done this deployment, and if you learned something in this video, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. Thank you.